I'm your go-to person for nonfiction. So anything from art and design, health and wellness, home decor to feminist commentary.
I love science fiction books and cookbooks, as well as woodworking books, home repair books, and I also love video games.
I like mysteries, romance, paranormal romance, some light fantasy, and kids books and young adult fiction as well.
I'd say historical fiction. I find I read a lot of biographical fiction, autobiographies, memoirs, and classics.
Typically history, politics, sci-fi, and some children's.
I'll be recommending vegan cookbooks, historical fiction, and gardening.
I specialize in young adult fiction, contemporary poetry, and Canadian fiction, but especially kind of LGBTQ, mental health awareness, and ecological science fiction.
Well, I'm the children's librarian, so my specialization is board books, and I really like middle school fiction and also parenting books because I'm a mama myself.
So I read a ton of teen books. Chick lit is one of my favorite genres as well. I like literary fiction. Cookbooks for those who can't cook, so like the really easy like weeknight cooking. And I'm also gonna do rom-coms.
1984. I mean, I think it's timeless. Like, you got the whole issues of media, doublethink, creeping totalitarianism, that kind of thing. I mean, we could see ourselves in that book, but we also know what not to do and what to do to avoid a world like that.
Jane Eyre, I would say, because I like books set in the Victorian era, and it's got a really strong female character in it. She's a really strong woman, so I like that.
Is The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbary.
My son's favorite that we're reading lately is Motor Goose Rhymes That Go by Rebecca Colby, and it's a really fun, it takes classic rhymes and puts like a vehicle twist on it.
I feel like asking a librarian to choose their favorite book of all time is like asking someone to choose their favorite child. You just can't do it.
Lady Macbeth by Susan King, and it's a historical fiction set in Scotland at the time of Macbeth, but it focuses on his wife and her strong female warrior character.
I'm reading a book called Your Creative Workspace. It's a book about creating a space in order to create art or be creative in your home.
Humans, Haig.
I'm reading The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. It's this awesome like World War I, World War II female spy novel, and I'm really loving it.
Happy Home Outside. It's a decorating book for outside patios, and it's really colorful and fun.
Children of Blood and Bone. It's by Tomi Adeyemi, and she's amazing. She's 24 years old and has already written this book, and a movie production is in the works. She calls it Black Panther with magic, so I highly recommend it.
One I'd say is Watching Traffic. It's by Jane Ozakowski. We have it here at the library. It's a teen fiction. It's really nice. It's just a good coming-of-age story.
It's an essential life skill, and learning to read actually begins at birth, so you should really be reading to your babies as well. And we have tons of great board books that we can recommend to you.
Reading helps you learn new things, and it takes you away from everyday life and lets you imagine.
Especially historical fiction, I find you're learning as you're reading, without even realizing that you're learning. And it kind of transports you from your own mind and your own life into somebody else's. So it's a really good de-stressor. It's a good form of escapism.
It helps us to grow as people. It helps us to always expand our imagination and to learn new things.
Because I think stories have the ability to change minds and change hearts where even hard facts have failed.
It's really important to read, to broaden your horizons, to learn about other cultures and even other universes.